What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hey, somebody requested me to go over INVO in the book, and absolutely no problem. Let's dive in. But before I do that, I went back to 1023. Okay, and I'm emphasizing this because if you don't know how these low floaters, right? This is a low floater. Okay, right here, about 2 to 3 mil. Okay, I know, give or take on other platforms or whatever. All right, cool. It's a low float. All right, there's going to be some manipulation. All right, and these things are going to halt in and out, in and out. Okay, this is exactly what this stock did on 1023. Okay, very important. And I actually drew a pre-existing zone that later you're going to see kind of respect. Okay, now let's dive in. Wow, halted down, opened up, halted, okay, halted down, all right, halted down. Wow, it did what it did on 1023, but very different this time. The daily structure was a little bit better. This pre-market structure to me was phenomenal. All right, and more importantly, again, you're going to see I have different zones all mapped out for me. Okay, this is a big 4-hour supply. These are daily supplies. All right, this is another daily supply, an hourly supply. And that's that big one that I showed you prior. Okay, from 1023, it's an intra supply zone. I want to know where this is trading. All right, and this is a breakdown. This is a tiny little stuff candle at 315K. But going over this, it's the biggest volume candle on pre-market. So for this reclaim to happen was very, very important. Okay, and then at open, let's dive into the book. Okay, all right. Cool. All right, this is that. All right, first of all, it halted. Okay, let's see how the open was. Very aggressive, a push up, right? And there wasn't really, there was some bids. Let's go over this tick by tick. Be a lot better. Okay, you can see that there's a bunch of support. All right, I mean, this thing just shot up and straight up chewed through all of those bids. Now, very important on the book. We want to dive in and go deeper. Okay, let's see. Look at the manipulation right here. So this is called a book flip. All right. If you see this right here at 130, as we're going into this, as it breaks, there's an immediate offer at 130, and they stacked it pretty heavy. Okay, there wasn't an appetite strong enough or buyers willing to step up and kind of crush through this 20K offer right there. Okay, very important to see. And now you can kind of see that they're controlling this tick by tick. So as this breaks 130, 129 comes in and puts another offer. So the book is being flipped right here. Okay. Now, as this thing pulls back and tries to break through, there isn't enough bid support on this, not enough aggressive buyers for continuation. This thing comes down, breaks all the way down, and then halts down. This is what a halt looks like on the book. Okay, you're gonna get these right here. There's another one right here. All right, there's actually a whole bunch of them. Wow, this thing was Halt City, Halt City, super cool. Okay, all right. This was a phenomenal entry, by the way. Okay, uh, let's go to this. Okay, as soon as this thing opens, guys, there's a 120 offer that gets chewed right through. All right. Something I'm realizing, it's super important to note that these stocks that are above $1, guys, these are all bid supports. All right, bid supports. Now, the way I like to trade them is off of zones, right? I'm really particular where I want to add, where I want to take profits, and how I want to trade this. All right, you won't catch me chasing. It doesn't matter. I really don't care, and I will not trade high. I will not buy high and sell high. That's just not my style. Um, Okay, so supply and demand. Okay, now I used to keep these out and I used to change the color on these, but once I put them out, if we're trading above them and the book matches and we stay strong, I just know that these are demands now, potential demands. Okay, all right, super important. Now, INVO guys, this thing had liquidity on both sides of the book. Okay, let me bring this down a little bit. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Very, 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 very. This thing, if you weren't in tune with it, it was going to be really hard to trade. Okay. I mean, you can get faked out pretty easy on all these little things that are happening right here. Okay. Um, what's super important to me, right, that's standing out already, is that these pullbacks are to previous areas of interest. All right. Any areas that kind of break down and that we're reclaiming, I want to see them pull back, right? And then I want to see, first of all, look at this spoof control right here. And as they let it up, sellers are getting absorbed. That's really nice, right? There's no more follow through, and you can see that there's still 124 support, right? 125 never lets up. All right, you're not going to be able to see that on the level 2 pretty fast. You might even think that it's about to crack 124 potentially because it's happening so fast, right? But with the book, not only can we see it for what it is, and then if we need to go back and review, it's all right here for us, okay? Very important, okay? They really tried to hold this down, all right? And then aggressive buyers came in and started to remove the liquidity on the book, okay? Very, very important, right? Now, as things pull back, right? As things pull back, I want to see previous areas of interest. All right, people could say this is a little pivot, cool, whatever. Um, I want to see sellers get exhausted. Okay, I mean, this is what you want to see everywhere and anywhere, regardless. Okay, it's just all context and where it is and things like that. Okay, now it's very important to understand that these are limit offers set on the book. You can see them how, first of all, this would be so much easier, right? 140s, you can see how they're starting to change the offers, right? Remember the heat map, okay? Sorry. Remember the heat map, okay? Still getting over a cold, but I kicked that cold right and let's go. All right, remember the heat map, all right? Less liquidity, more liquidity, okay? So you're going to see them push and pull, right? Very important to pay attention to the current order book. This is all you need to pay attention to see potentially how the level 2 is going to play out, but this is more in depth. They call it a level 3. It's phenomenal. Okay, Super Saiyan 3, let's go. All right, Goku, right. All right, super important, right? Again, utilize your book. Don't get too caught up and you're stuck like this and you don't know what's going on. It's very important to see where they have higher limit orders, okay? And you're not going to be able to do that just sitting here playing this super close, right? All right. This one was super aggressive, and this is one of the more aggressive ones that I've seen, especially when there's not a lot of bid support. But then again, guys, look at this. There is enough bid support on this. All right. There's enough bid support on INVO, and that if slappers want to buy high and sell high, well, cool. Thank you. Get the job done, right? Someone's got to do it, I guess. Um, the reason why I'm saying zoom in and zoom out, guys, on this is because you want to see where there's bigger limit offers, right? This is supply. This is all demand. All right. This is all demand. This is all supply. All right. Now, in context, you always want to remember where we're at. Where are we trading? What's the daily look like? What zones are we entering? Is the book getting heavy? Is it staying strong? Super, super important. Okay. Now, let's keep diving in. All right. This thing halted multiple times, but I really want to go over something. Okay, this is super important. All right, guys. Um, if you're a short and even a long, right? I even if you're not getting down here, I mean, this is playing with fire, right? Especially for the shorts, right? You gotta sometimes let this stuff just do its thing, right? You don't want to get caught in these huge percent candle drawdowns or breakouts, right? Because it's not fun. Okay, it's not fun trying to short something that halted and then it halts up and then all of a sudden like, well, what do I do, right? And then all of a sudden you're down 40, 50 cents, right? And that's a little painful. Then you can get what you call a mental exhaustion in trading, and then you can be decently red on this, and then you can be scared to take these trades later on. All right, or if you do take them and you actually kind of catch a move, you probably got so chopped up playing this that it was super painful, and then you're still red on the day and you're frustrated. You know, names, right? I see this all the time now. And even Jay Rett goes over some of these too. A lot of them actually. Um, Wait until all that halting is done. Okay, and if you don't have a halt code, let you know if things are going to halt, well, you need to. All right, get a level 2 that's going to give you the halt prices. Okay, so that you're aware of when things could potential halt up and halt down. Okay, cool. All right, here goes that beautiful setup right before it failed. All right, I want to go over this because this is the last time that it stopped playing these games right here. All right, and then came all the way down. Okay, this is a beautiful, what? A beautiful lower high, right? And things consolidated for a while. Okay, this is what you want to see. This is what I would love to see all the time. Nice consolidation, a nice lower high, and then no follow through. Okay, this was a beautiful short setup right here in my opinion. All right, now huge difference right here on INVO than any other setup that happened over here. Okay, any other control? All right, look at this control. Very controlled, but it wasn't super aggressive yet. Okay, this is nice control. Control, right? They're throwing on some offers and then they're pulling them, right? All right, this was a huge offer. Let's go look, right? 167. That's 17K right here, okay? Right? And as price action and aggressive buyers start to step up, they remove this liquidity because they don't want to get filled there. Whether it's the algo, market makers, it doesn't matter. Or potential shorts putting on some offers, and they're like, whoa, 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 yeah, not cool. Or I don't know, and I really don't care. All I know is that I have the book, and it's phenomenal. All right, so it's super important to understand this type of price action. They don't want to get filled there. All right, it's very important, as you can see. All right, so nobody removes the liquidity off the book. It's just being pulled. All right, all right, guys. If you don't do this, you don't zoom in and out, you're not going to see more in-depth details that the book map is willing to give you. All right, you can see this gets really aggressive, and someone came here and swiped them out. All right, they aggressively took out this offer. They removed the liquidity from the book, not fully, but enough to where it starts to try to open up. Okay, all this liquidity is being pulled. All right, it's very important to see the or manipulation or how they're price auctioning this stock today. Okay, there was a bunch of games going here. Okay, now I want to go back to where it failed. All right, um, this is where it got super aggressive. Okay, now as you can see, buyers are really stepping up on this, getting super aggressive. Now this can be a mix of short covering. All right, you got to remember, guys, the algo and the market makers, they don't care what side you're on. And I need you to hear this again. They do not care what side you're on. If you're a long or you're short, right? They will utilize the current order book against you, against us. So it's super important to be optimally focused and ready to go at any given moment, right? So, if too many shorts are getting in and they kind of see that on the book, hey, let's squeeze them out real quick so price increases. That way we or they can take their profits. All right. Got to remember they're always generating a market because, hey, um, we're always behind. All right. That's also super important to know and realize. Unless you're like one of those guys who are doing like 100% DDD and always like, hey, I'm waiting for this, and you get in, clean off them. with them. Super funny. Then you just don't know. So if you're playing momentum, just always remember, hey, there's always somebody else that has a better average or someone who else was more prepared than you were, than I was, okay, and then we all were. All right, if you understand that and understand how they utilize the best offer, right, and the best bids, and how they're utilizing liquidity on these books, then you're definitely ahead of a lot of people, a lot of retail traders. Okay, now back to this setup. All right, this is when this thing got super aggressive. All right, and let me tell you something: 185, no offer, no appetite. Okay, nobody buys or removes the liquidity right here. And as soon as this started to come, they immediately stacked 184 and 183. Okay, wow. All right, so looking at this 20, 30, 40, about 50K worth of offers. That's not including the Omni feed and things like that. Okay, this thing got super heavy and then super controlled. All right, sellers are back in control. All right, now no bid support, and once they start pulling these bids, or they start removing the liquidity, sellers, anybody who went long up there, which is crazy. You know, okay, but and now they're removing the liquidity on the book. All right. They try to hold it right here. And as you can see, all right, there's just zero appetite on the best offer, you know. And this thing comes down. And look what they do. Another book flip at 166. Okay. This was phenomenal. What a great short opportunity right there. Okay. And this thing halted down. All right. Very important, right? Utilize the book. Okay. Even though this thing halted down, it bounced, pulled back, it tried again. But guys, now, very important. Previous areas of interest. Okay, this basically rejected off a lot of areas that it was holding, right? So this is a perfect price level, right? That needs to actually fail and crack, all right? And that's exactly what it did right here, all right? And you can see these guys right here just chewing, absolutely chewing through the liquidity, all right? It's very important right here. They pull most of this liquidity right here, all right? And then most of it gets sold into right here, all right? They try to do a book flip right here. But yeah, it does not work. If you can see this, this is a proper book flip. Not that much, but enough to where you got the best bid and the best offer, just staying super tight and controlled. All right, guys, level two and other things like that are not gonna show you this in depth. All right, this is phenomenal, guys. Yeah, I hope this helps for the INVO breakdown for the guy who asked me about this, but yeah, this thing got super heavy. All right. Um, oops. Okay. And then it finished at 130. Now, daily. All right. We're at 130 right now. I mean, it basically almost went down to where it opened up. All right. I don't know what to expect out of this. Maybe on Monday. But as far as that goes, that was a nice little breakdown in here. Just remember, you really got to be in tune, right, with supply and demand, all right, and then learn how they are price auctioning the stock, all right. This is a low float. It had history of halting multiple times up and down, and then eventually the halting kind of stops, and the stock will pick a direction. All right, I'm real big into supply and demand. That's all I trade. You won't catch me chasing high stuff, buying high, selling high. Yeah, because then what happens when that just stops? All right. Yeah, I guess in a hot market or in a name that's kind of hot, that's okay to do. Maybe. Um, but be disciplined, stay focused. Much love. Peace out, Mikey.